Brewers did some things here at Wrigley Field, uncharacteristic, a couple of different things. We cannot take this to a Game 5. That's next here on Locked On Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, from Wrigley Field here after Game 3 of the National League Divisional Series between the Milwaukee Brewers. Chuck Freimund, longtime sportscaster here in the state of Wisconsin, proud host of Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. This episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the promo code Locked On MLB, $20 off your first purchase with Gametime. Talk about not a very good start by Priester, but he wasn't the only problem today. Many of opportunities passed them by the board, and why this cannot get to a Game 5. Cannot get to a Game 5. I wore the clothes thinking that there's going to be a champagne celebration in the locker room. You know, you don't wear your best shirts when you cover those things because it's spraying champagne everywhere. I've been here after Game 163 in 2018 and a few of those before, but we're going to have to hold on to that for just a little bit. Going to have to hold on to that a little bit. Yeah, you had a pretty good feeling in the first inning. This was not going in the Brewers' direction, but even so, I thought the Brewers were right there all game long. All game long, I thought they were there. The Cubs, as they do, give you opportunities. And after the Cubs put up 4 runs in the first inning, I even tweeted this out. I said, I've seen this storyline before with the Cubs. They get off to an early lead, and Team Lifeless just kind of sits on that lead. And the Brewers were given so many opportunities. But we're going to start with Priester here. Priester came out, and he had command issues. He was not good. And Murphy, like managers do in the postseason, they got him out of there. They got him the heck out of there in the first inning and brought in Mears, and that was it. Murph had enough of it. Now, in a regular season game, Priester might be sticking around for a little bit. But in the postseason, these managers, man, they don't waste any time. They feel like you don't have your stuff, you are out of there. And Murph, as he told the network and he told the media later on, what did you say to Priester when he was coming off the mound? He says, we're going to need you, big guy. We're going to need you. And we are going to need Priester, right? We are going to need Priester. Priester won 19 in a row. And I see some people down on him. I saw what guy did put on Twitter. Because Priester's from a nearby community here at Wrigley Field. So he grew up a Cubs fan and all that. Somebody wrote, so I'll put up a tweet. Priester grew up a Cubs fan. I guess he still is. They obviously, I'm laughing, but I'm really crying because that 4-run first inning was painful to watch. And it was sad to see because Priester, we've seen most of him. He's 13-3 and ERA under 4. He's been great most of the year. But he had that leadoff home run, the Bush, and the hits keep coming. PCA had a 2-run double in there. And, man, I felt bad for Priester because, and Murphy said after the game, the moment probably got too big for Priester being a hometown guy. You don't hear managers or even coaches of teams say that a lot, but Murphy doesn't mince any words. He said that the moment probably got too big, and now Priester's going to have to get over that if the moment did get too big. We talked to him in the locker room after the game, and he took total blame. He said he was terrible. He said the rest of his team did their job. I didn't do my job. The bullpen was great, and they were great. 7 1/3 of scoreless baseball. They were great. I did not do my job. And, yeah, he didn't do his job. He was not very good, but all the blame is not going to be on Priester. And just because he had a struggle here in the first inning, I know there's going to be pause out there. Can we pitch this guy in the postseason because he looks so bad in Game 1? Priester is one of the guys who got us here. They are going to need him. They're going to need him to come back, maybe even later on in this series. God forbid if it gets to a Game 5. Let's not let that happen. And we'll talk more about that. God, my blood boils just thinking about it possibly getting to a game 5. The Brewers are up still in this series. They're in a driver's seat 2-1. But if Priester's going to have to pitch, if he's going to have to pitch, he may have to come back in game 5 and pitch. Now, the one thing I do hate is we don't know day to day who's pitching. All right? I feel like it's turned into a cluster on who's pitching. And even getting to the ballpark and finding out Lockridge was in the starting lineup. All right? Why isn't Isaac Collins, the rookie of the year in the National League? Well, I think he's going to be the rookie of the year in the National League. Why is he never playing anymore? He is still on his team, isn't he? I mean, I didn't see him in the locker room today. I assume he's on this team yet. He's one of the guys who got us here. I see the lineup, Lockridge. And Murph said before the game, and you know what? Who are we to criticize Murph? Because Murph has got this team to 97 wins. I get that. I feel like, man, we're reinventing a few things here. And he said that now Bauer's putting Bauer's in. That was a genius move, right? Bauer's RBI single got the team within 4-2. Home run got him within 4-3. And then struck out a big moment in the 8th inning. But I thought he was going to take Brad Keller downtown there. I would have silenced this historic venue right here, Wrigley Field. But yeah, I was not happy. I'm not happy coming to the ballpark and seeing, okay, we have no idea who's going to pitch. I mean, is Peralta going to go on 4 days rest? I assume tomorrow, right? I mean, they're not coming back and throwing Gasser and Johnny Holstaff again. I mean, they emptied out the bullpen again today, just like the other day. I mean, do the Brewers have to play games like this? Is this where we are? Is because of Woodruff not being in the rotation? We're pitching guys like it's an all-star game. Guy gets an inning here. We're piecing together, and they've been great. But man, I don't know. And Priester, going to need that guy. He's right. And Priester may have to come back. God forbid if we get to a game 5 at MFan Field on Saturday. Please don't let it get to that. I don't even want to think about that right now. But Bauers, you put Bauers in. Whether, again, this whole righty-lefty thing, I think we overplayed a little bit. I want to see my best guy. I'm going to go out there with my best 9 guys. If it sounds like I'm ranting on the Brewers a little bit, I want to go out there with my best 8-9 guys. Righty, lefty, I don't care. Unless somebody totally stinks against a left-handed pitcher and you're a left-handed hitter, okay. But, Bush doesn't have very good numbers against lefty, and Counsell sat him the other night. I mean, I'm finding a way to get Michael Bush in the lineup. And Collins, I don't know. Lockridge, nice bunt. I didn't like the idea of bunting in that situation. Durbin probably should have kept going. Got thrown out at home. Or he got caught in a rundown. He eventually got thrown out. But he probably should have kept going. And dove to, Durbin, tough as nails, bulldog, dive into home plate there. But he's a rookie, young guy. Again, we're winning with young guys. Young guys who, some of these guys are still learning the game. And they've been great this year. And I still think they're going to win this series. Although Brewers Twitter, guys, come on. We're going to come back tomorrow and get things done. I think they do have to throw Peralta. I think they have to throw Peralta and come back and finish this thing off Thursday. And then Saturday, if they don't get the job Thursday, Saturday is anybody's guess. Craig Counsell said he wanted to create chaos. 4-run first inning, and team lifeless flatlined. Brewer bullpen shut them down, the Brewers had every opportunity. And uncharacteristic of the Brewers, because I kept thinking throughout the game, the Brewers are going to find a way to get this done. Find a way to get this done. And when Bauers hit that solo shot, when was it? In the 7th inning? The sirens, I feel like it's constant sirens in Chicago, by the way. And there's a firehouse right there, and I'm sure that's going to go off somehow. A fire truck while we're doing this podcast. But in the 7th inning, when Bauers hits that home run, brings them within 4-3, I'm thinking, okay, all right. Leadoff double by Churio in the 8th inning. Yeah, he wasn't 100%, but he busted his butt to get down the second base. I thought PCA was going to make the grab out there, but he got the second base, and we got the heart of the order coming up here. Heart of the order. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it done. Man, they blew some opportunities. And this is something the Brewers have been great at all season long. Coming through in big spots, big moments. They didn't tonight. A rarity. Because I kept thinking, even when they were down 4-1, I put that on Twitter, lots of game left. They're going to put some pressure on the Cubs because the Cubs are going to go flat, and they did. True to form, the Cubs didn't do anything. And credit that with the Brewer bullpen. Craig Counsell talked about how he wanted to create chaos in this game. Wanted to create chaos. Yeah, he had a 4-run first inning, but there were no chaos for final 8 innings, Craig. Brewer pitching held you guys down. Now the Brewers, too many guys stranded on base all over the place. Not very good. Jameson Taillon, they got him out of there early. The Cubs did. Inning in 2/3. Again, in a regular season game, they probably keep him in there longer than that, but the Cubs got him out of there. Priester, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs earned, 4 earned. Gave the leadoff home run to Bush. 2-run single to PCA. But even so, Yelich doubles in the top half of the first. I felt like the Brewers in that first inning as well. They had Taillon on the ropes. The Cubs play the Keystone Cops and let a pop fly in the infield drop in. And then they strand the bases loaded in the first inning. They should have put up a crooked number in that first inning. And that's what the Brewers have been doing all year long, putting up crooked numbers. They didn't do that today. First inning, they would have made the Cubs pay for that blunder in the infield, and they didn't do it. They got a sac fly, but they should have put up a crooked number. And in the 7th inning, couldn't get the job done after the Bowers home run. 8th inning, Bauer strikes out, bases loaded. Got ahead 1-0 on Keller and struck out. Churio played, didn't find out about his hamstring, but he obviously was not at full speed. I was watching him when he was going to second base. He was not in full speed, but I mean, credit to him for gutting it out and, playing. He's obviously not great out there, and he made a couple of nice catches out in left field. He did swing at a couple of pitches over his head, too, in one of his at-bats. I was like, Jesus, that was like the worst at-bat of the season. But, yeah, tomorrow, I kind of want to see Collins in the lineup. The Cubs haven't announced who they're pitching yet either. That's $1 million mystery. So we don't know who's pitching for them. But I'm worried about the Brewers. I don't care who the Cubs are pitching. But anyway, I want to see Collins. I want to see Vaughn in that lineup. I want to see Collins somehow in that lineup. Perkins is playing a heck of a lot. I don't know. And the Lockridge playing in this game isn't the reason why they lost. Not by a long shot. Okay. But it's just like, I didn't get it. And I didn't like it. I hated the idea of him laying down a bunt. I mean, Durbin should have scored anyway, but Lockridge, according to Murphy, is their best bunter. But if they feel like on the road, you got to play for a crooked number in that inning. I don't know. All right. Still to come. Can't get this to a game 5. Can't get this to a game 5 at all. The bullpen was great. We're going to get to more of this game and look ahead to game 4 here at Wrigley coming up next here on Locked On Brewers. Gametime. A terrific app. You want to get tickets to tomorrow's game? You want to drive down here to Chicago? I feel like it's the longest 90 minutes of your life driving from Milwaukee to Chicago. I mean, 90 minutes, that's a lot. 90 from Milwaukee to Oshkosh seems twice as fast as and that's 90 minutes, than Milwaukee to Chicago. It's like the longest 90 minutes ever. I hate that drive. Anyway, but if you want to come down here, go to Gametime. Simple as that. Whether you want to go to a baseball game, NBA, Packers, you name it, Gametime is the way to go. They're the number one app out there. I mean, they make it so easy for you. They got zone deals. You could pick a section and you get a zone deal. You could pick your seats, find out where you want to sit, and you're going to get a panoramic view of that seat. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. You pay $70 for tickets, you get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, promo code LOCKEDONMLB, $20 off. Swipe, tap ticket. Go to download the Gametime app today. You got to download the Gametime app and take advantage of the $20 off for your first purchase with Gametime. Chuck Freimund here on Locked On Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day, broadcasting live from Wrigley Field here on a Wednesday night. I lose track of what night this is. This is Wednesday night, and then tomorrow is an 8 o'clock start. At least it's supposed to be as of right now doing this podcast. I've heard rumblings it could be changing. I don't know why they would take baseball fans for granted and be changing around all these game times and not tell them some game times. Heck with TV. Look out for the fans. Let's tell the fans specific game times. Let's not keep them guessing. I hate that. I mean, taking advantage of the fans like they're going to come just no matter what time it is. You know, and people don't have to rearrange their schedules or anything like that. It's ridiculous. By the way, this is the point of the podcast. I tell you about where to get this podcast. If you're already watching the video, we're on all the audio platforms, Google, Spotify, Apple, on all the major downloads. We're the number one Brewers podcast because of you great Brewer fans out there. And if you're already downloading us on the audio platforms, go to our growing YouTube page, search Locked On Brewers, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the alerts. I drop short 60-second videos after every game, instant reaction videos after every game. You're going to get all those. All the content is always free. And you want to hit me up on Twitter, Chuck Freimund, Freimund, Freimund. Always love talking to great Brewers fans. All right. Oh, can't get to a game 5. Just absolutely cannot get to a game 5. Because you get to a game 5, it's a winner take all. And I feel like it's anybody's ball game when you get to a game 5. It always seems the favor of a home team. The Brewers have been eliminated last couple of years at home in the playoffs. I don't want to see another team celebrating at home. I don't even want to get to that far. I don't even want to think about Saturday. I want to be thinking about golfing on Saturday. I don't want to be thinking about going to Anthem Field and just being a bundle of nerves all because Friday's an off day and then the Saturday. I don't be thinking about that. Almost lost game 5 against Arizona in 2011 after winning the first 2 games of the series, losing in Arizona, and then coming back and winning an extra innings in game 5 in that NLDS. So we don't need to take it to a game 5. But the pitcher tomorrow, who should they come back with? They need to come back with Peralta and get this thing done. Freddy Peralta's got to pitch this game tomorrow. And you got some staff, you got some bullpen guys out there ready to go. Obviously, with using Quintana tonight, he's probably not going to be available for you tomorrow, right? Quintana's not going to be available for you tomorrow. But I'm sure some of these other guys are. See, the Brewers used Mears, Quintana, Grant Anderson, Koenig, and Patrick. Well, Uribe and McGill will be available tomorrow. Okay? Patrick has been great in relief, by the way. Just terrific. We found something there with Patrick. Inning in 2/3. Koenig was not great at relief. Grant Anderson gave 2 scoreless innings, 1 hit. I thought Grant Anderson was fantastic. I thought the 3 innings that Quintana sucked up there, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. I thought Jose pitched well. And Mears coming in the bottom half of the first inning and putting out that fire, thought that was huge as well. Bullpen, fantastic. But you got Uribe ready for tomorrow, or if you're watching this Thursday, you got Uribe ready for you today. You got McGill ready to go, and you got to come back with Peralta. I don't want this dinking around of even thinking about Robert Gasser. Somebody mentioned Robert Gasser. I don't even want to hear about that. All right. This is an elimination game on Thursday. We got to go with Freddy Peralta. I don't want to hear any other suggestions. I don't want to hear Aaron Ashby. I don't want to hear Gasser piecing things together. None of that BS. Freddie pitched on Saturday. He had 9 strikeouts. He's got to come back, close things out Thursday. We'll worry about Saturday. We'll worry about Saturday, right? Maybe even come back with Priester on Saturday. But I don't even want to think about Saturday right now. But Thursday is the biggest game of the year. Biggest game of the year. Got to stop this Cubs momentum. They're feeling good about themselves. They got to win. All right. That's a team I feel like I hate to question their mental toughness, but I don't feel like the Cubs have a lot of mental toughness. And I feel if you get up on the Cubs, they will go away in a whimper. And I think we've seen that in the first 2 games. I've seen it many times this year. You get a lead on the Cubs, they go away. They don't have the fight that this Brewers team is. That's why I was surprised the Brewers didn't come back and win this game. That surprised the heck out of me. But save it for the postseason to not come back and have some fight, right? Disappointing. But yes, another day. We'll come back here at Wrigley Field. We'll wrap it up right after this here on Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Locked On Brewers, brought to you in part by Rugiet. If I can only get my mouse to go up here and give the banner, there it is. My makeshift studio on the road. Rugiet. Well, guys, you've heard of Viagra, Cialis, maybe even tried them, but you're looking for something beyond the usual pill. It's time to meet Rugiet. Go long. That's exactly what they do. Trusted doctor medications in one dual action formula. The effects can last up to 36 hours. Confidence all day, all night as well. Even into the next day. Ready to level up your confidence? Rugiet.com, Rugiet.com. Use the promo code Locked On MLB. 15% off your first order. 15%. Man, we have some great offers here. Rugiet, Rugiet.com, Locked On MLB. Use that promo code and you'll get started with 15% off your first order with Rugiet. Oh, Wrigley Field. You know what? I know Brewers fans don't like this place, but I do love the history. I'm not saying I love the Cubs, but the history. I mean, this place is really antiquated. I mean, you come into our place at AmFam Field, it's beautiful. I'm just telling you, like, you put the press box up, it's a throwback, man. Part of that, there's some charm in that. Part of it, it's like, man, but they'll never tear this place down. It's a historical landmark, and they've invested so much money around the facility and all that, which takes away a little bit of its charm. And I know, I've heard from you guys many times over the years, and have come at me when I said I actually liked Wrigley Field. I don't like the Cubs, but I can appreciate the history of Wrigley Field. I'll love even Wrigley Field even better on Thursday. We can close it out and get the victory. Today is probably the most passionate I got about the Brewers in a long time. You know what? Because I came to the ballpark and I was disgusted, yes, that Lockridge was in the starting lineup. Nothing against the kid, but he's not even, or he's on the postseason roster, maybe to pinch run. Didn't think he was going to make a start, but they got him into the ball game. Bowers, I was like a little wondering about that. I mean, Andrew Vaughn, I'm going to go with Vaughn. Hit the home run the other day, but Bowers actually came through going 2 for 4 and the 2 RBIs. And I thought if Bowers would have yanked one when the bases were loaded there, he would have put himself in Wisconsin sports lore. It was waiting for him. The Jake Bowers game, right? 6 RBIs, grand slam in the 8th inning. Oh, can you imagine that? This place would have fell silent. Feel it was 95% Cub fans here, whereas it was 85-15 at AmFam Field in games 1 and games 2. feel it was 95% Cubs fan. I didn't see a lot of Brewers fans at all. Honest to God, I did not run into any Locked On Brewers listeners today. Home, I run into a ton. I didn't see many Brewers close. There was a few, not many. Got to get more people down here. Doesn't matter, though, for the Brewers. They're still going to get the job done on Thursday. I feel good about it. Got to throw Peralta. Have the weekend off and look to game 1 of the NLCS coming up on Monday. Thursday, we'll be right back here. Late night, early Thursday night, late Thursday night, early Friday morning, talking Brewers hopefully clinching the NLDS, the first postseason series win since 2018, when it was a rainy day out in Colorado that day, in Denver, Colorado. Little did I know that would be the last time the Brewers had won a postseason. We got a lot left of this season. It's only one loss, guys. Let's come back, get the job done. We'll talk to you late night coming up on Thursday night. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in as always, guys. Locked On Brewers. Again, you get us on Google, Spotify, Apple, wherever you download your audio podcast. We're the #1 Brewers podcast out there. And please go to our growing YouTube page. Like I said, you'll get the short videos after games and long form as well as go on the road. Usually I'm in my Locked On Brewers studio, but we're here covering the game, and it's been fun. Now I'm not looking forward to the ride home back to Milwaukee. Ain't no way I'm staying overnight in Chicago. So we'll see you all tomorrow night, everybody. Thursday night, Locked On Brewers, part of Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. This is Chuck Freimund. Have yourself a great Thursday.